We are back with Zeke again, and I think the modern world kind of drives us insane with many modern world problems like dating, job market, and the loneliness epidemic stuff. So I think the antidote is acting crazy against it instead. Better than letting it consume us and being depressed. You can be lonely, but no, what I was gonna say is that you can be alone, but you don't necessarily have to feel lonely. Because it usually comes from like you feel like you don't have anyone, there's nothing meaningful in your life that much. That's why you kind of feel that way. People around you or on social media, they're living their lives to the fullest, hanging out with friends, traveling in your life or my life too. We kind of have nothing, right? We want to do the same thing, hanging out with friends and buying some unnecessary materials, clothes, or BS watches, bags, whatever that you like. But we just can't, right? Due to our unforeseen circumstances. But that's okay. It will be our time soon if we believe that we will attain it in the future. We must be disciplined and believing in ourselves in order to get there. We can't just do nothing and one day expect to have the best life, right? When I view people around me, I went to university today. I was a little bit adrift, I would say, looking around. I didn't want to be there at all, but if you know me, you would know that it was mandatory to go to um my uni since they have attendance like rule that you have to participate in like class, you have to attend, otherwise you will not pass. That's why I go there. Literally, there's nothing substantial there at all. So it was so boring. And surprisingly, there's something unexpected today. I grouped with some people. It was the weirdest combination ever. It was me, another Chinese dude, another Japanese dude, and another girl whom I know, but I didn't know that she would be quite friendly and funny. I swear to God, like it was so fun. Like we all were kind of intoxicated, not in a literal way, but like we were just laughing, you know, making no sense at all. Like this Chinese dude, he's laughing for no reason, and then I just laugh along, and then we were just laughing just like that. It was so weird since like we all were not close, so it just like that, man. When I looked at my life, instead of acting depressed and signaling that I am a lone wolf kind of stuff. Like, why would we even do that since life is quite absurd anyway? People are living on autopilot since at least they are living their lives. But for people who are royally aware. I'm also like that. I'm not trying to be superior to anyone, but I'm just being authentic, okay? Like, I would analyze every single thing, even if I don't want to. My head, it just operates that way. But I don't remember some trivial information, though, like names and stuff. I would remember only the things that I want to, and it's just like that. Then it was just fun. Because usually I don't socialize and I don't want to interact with people that much since I don't enjoy shallow conversations. So when I go there, most of the time I just go to a library in reading something or studying, pretty much. And I really think that if we cannot change our current life situation and we try our best to max out everything, saving our money, eating healthy, working out, trying to be a better person in our own way, I think that is good enough. Because trying too hard and being indirectly or directly pressured by your family or social media to be successful fast will only make your mental health um deteriorate. So sometimes you just, I wouldn't say sometimes, but it should be your default to live your life in a way that you don't regret afterward. But make sure that you also try, not just be living life shieldingly because you don't want to be stretched. Because you will be living the consequences of your current life situation in the future. So you better should doing something now also. And there's no right or wrong answer. And I just think that you should be able to laugh at anything. When you're on a bus and maybe it came late, or you witnessed like weird people. I don't know what they did, but it was absurd incident. Maybe they're arguing, a wife and a husband, and then you're just looking at them and listening to them, and it's just quite funny, you know. Not in like a bad way. I'm not saying that you should be laughing at them, but like looking at life, this is what life is. Enjoy little things, even though it is not a big event that you value, but at least it makes your life better. You feel happier. It can be just some stupid things. Because if you enjoy gaming, then just do it. I myself, oh my god, I don't know if you hear that. I don't even, I don't know how to put that. Just cut that out. Um, in my mind right now is completely blanked. It is not that I'm not thinking, but I don't have worries or problems. But in fact, I have like major ones. I don't have a girlfriend. I don't have friends. I don't have money. But like I said, I cannot do anything with that. Of course, like I can force myself in a situation where I can potentially get friends, but somehow you just don't know the outcome, and we are naturally afraid of uncertainty. And it might be weird, awkward, in you don't want to be socially viewed as a weirdo kind of thing. So, nah, it's okay. Since I'm fine with living in complete solitude, it's okay. Part of life. Only one more or two, almost 2 years, that I'm going to move out. We're going to see where I would be headed to. We'll see. Like, just don't think too much about your problems. Seriously, because thinking about, looking back about your past experiences, hardships, or tolerable experiences that you've been through, you had no idea at that time how you would figure it out. But look at yourself now. You were here listening to this motherfucker yapping nonsensical. You did that in the past, not knowing how you like manage that. So it would be the same thing with this time. It might not be the best. What I'm saying is like about your outcome. It might not be as perfect as you expect, but it is okay. We cannot control everything. Like I said, the only thing that we can control is our judgment, our thoughts, and reaction. It is really important because it dictates your how to put it into words worldview in life on a daily basis. You don't want to go to work looking at people around you thinking that they are freaking NPCs and I'm the only person who is aware of my surrounding and understand what life really is, how absurd it is. These people are too low IQ and living their lives on autopilot. But in fact, if you're thinking that like that, you might not be NPC in that sense, but in fact, you still in the same room with them, just with a more sophisticated uniform that, oh, I'm aware that NPCs exist. Therefore, I'm not NPC. No, because you can be aware of like NPCs like around you, but you can still be one. You're probably thinking that like, oh, you making no sense, but let me explain. Just because you're aware of um their how they live their lives, they don't feel pressure, they don't care much about their future, they just live on impulse. It doesn't mean that you don't do the same, since you can be aware of them and you're still living your life the same way as you have been living for years. The difference is only that you are aware. That's it. So in that case, you're still an NPC, but just in a better uniform, you know, that's it. So in order to escape that matrix, we need to change something about ourselves. It doesn't have to be like um something apparent or visible like clothes or I don't know, that kind of thing. You can shift your mind, like your mindset or like mentality, trying to adopt some applicable principles to your life so that you can improve your life. I don't know if it makes logical sense to you. Um, like my head is working in a very weird way because your actions matter a lot since you can be knowing about how to be in shape, but you know that you have to eat healthy, you have to do cardio, you have to go to the gym. But if you don't do any of this at all, you're not going to be jacked and ripped, right? Knowing it doesn't mean you're better than them if you don't apply it to your life or act on it. And which is why you really need to shift your mindset first. It's not going to be easy, but you can definitely do it since many people they also manage to do that. I remember that I was on a cut during that semester. I literally had to go to university since 7 a.m. and I got home around 3 p.m. Some days it would be like 5 p.m. Mind you, I still like after I had arrived home, I still like had to go to the gym. So I would go to the gym afterward and I still needed to do cardio for 3 hours at least. And we have not included their workout session. Imagine how hard would that be? So we could definitely manage that because if we actually and truly want to achieve our goal, we need to change ourselves. I know that it is cliche, but most of the time people just complicate things more than necessary since we think that this idea is very sophisticated. I have never heard of it before and I think it might produce a better result. Usually like it doesn't have to be like that. Just do like the normal things and it can make the same result also. But where most people struggle is often discipline, I would say, since then when it comes to change, it's kind of hard. It's just like you're changing your identity. Imagine if I were to be, no offense to any fat person out there, I'm not fat phobic. If I were to be a fat person and I often eat hamburgers, I DoorDash morning, noon, evening, night. I eat 5 McDonald's like burgers daily. And I don't work out, I play video games. And if someone were to tell me that you should go to the gym, I know that I should go to the gym, but it's just hard because we know what we should do, but acting on it means we need to become a completely different person, and it's hard. It is like rewriting your new character. And when you have to do it alone, nobody constantly motivates you. So you don't feel pressure and you can literally slack off anytime if you want. So that's why like quitting is just easier. You don't have to do the work. You don't need to change. Just door dashing every day, playing video games, dopamine maxing. It's just easier. I really understand like obese people. Like I know that they want to change. They don't want to be fat. My bad if it is offensive to you. I really didn't mean to to make it offensive, but I genuinely understand them, but changing is hard. And whether soon or later, you know that you have to change it because it affects you and people around you. Maybe when you travel with your family, it's just hard for them to enjoy their moments without you since you cannot do many activities with them kind of stuff. Even if you're not on like a wheelchair, you're still missing out in life a lot. I know that it takes time, even years. That's why it is so um demotivating, I would say. Cause damn man, 3 4 years, maybe too much. Like a few years, maybe even a year if you got like a good coach or you are extremely knowledgeable in this specific topic about nutrition, working out, stuff. Dang, we're shifting through discipline. But I mean, life just like that. There is no point of thinking negatively since we know the end of the road, we all will go to the same place. Not in a sense like hell and heaven, like I mean like death. It is inevitable, at least in our current century. Maybe in the future, our lifespan might be longer, or we might be what? Cyborg? I have no idea. But at the end of the day, there's no reason for us to feel depressed, or I don't know how to put it into like other words, or like being vindictive to modern people since you might think that they are the reason why we have to live in pure misery, excuse me, pure misery like this. Like I said, about like jobs. Many people in their 20s in the UK, I saw the news, they still with they still live with their parents since they can't find jobs. And it is really hard, when the like many jobs in the modern world they require experiences. Like, dude, what does that even mean? Like, I just graduated. How can I get experiences? I'm going to get it from you. But if everywhere is like that, how can I get a job? Imagine, right? Um, hypothetically, if our world there are only three jobs, A, B, C, and all of these three jobs, they require us to have the minimum of like work experience is 3 to 5 years, and you just graduated. So how are you going to get a job? Impossible, right? Like it doesn't make any sense. I know that it pisses me off too, but since I can't do anything with it besides trying to figure it out, or maybe if you were a genius, you would find a loophole, you know, just like that. So just let it go rather than dwelling on it. Oh, am I going to change job? Oh, one, two, three. Can I cheat? Can I do this? Can I do that? Oh my gosh. Yada yada. Trust me, we will figure it out when time comes. We always figure it out. Like our horrible past experiences is normal. Oh, this already 26 minutes. And just like that, embrace the insanity of the chaotic modern world. If you want to dance, just dance. Really, I think being cringe is also one of the workable solutions for us. Because you can like be like crazy in public areas, but not in a way that you interrupt others. I mean, like, when you're with your friends or people whom you're comfortable with, or like just where it doesn't bother anyone, you're just like, yeah, just be you, having fun, dressing whatever that you like in anime costume. I mean, it's cool, right? If you're happy, then why not? People might deem you as a weirdo, or what is the term for that one? Uh, I don't know, goth girls? I have no idea. Yeah, this kind of thing. Whatever that you want to be like. Since if it makes you happy, I think you win in life. Because many people, they might not have social skills in their life, kind of, their life's kind of bleak and adrift, depressed, whatever you name it. They are not brave enough to step out of their comfort zone to try new things. But if you have the guts to do things that you like, or the things that you think might produce some amount of joy and happiness, and do it as long as it doesn't harm anyone. So because you don't want to be a burden of society, that's not good. Yeah, I still have one more meal to eat, but it's fine. I'm trying to fix my sleep schedule. It is so weird, last night I went to bed at 3 a.m. It's bad. Don't copy me. I know. I know, I know. And I slept only 4 hours, yet throughout the day, I could focus on studying and reading really well. I didn't drink coffee, by the way. I didn't eat anything at all. Because my first meal was at 5 p.m. and I woke up at 7 a.m. So, throughout the day, I studied. I went to my university. There was no problem at all. I didn't feel sleepy. It was so weird. No idea. Oh my god, I got cramps. Shh, give me a sec. Oh, okay, we are back. We are back. I mean, you can sometimes meditate too. I think it makes you calmer, really, and you would get some new ideas, or I mean, afterward you would get new ideas, but during um your meditation, your mind will start to think about your problems or something underneath your conscious mind. I would say something that you, I don't know, like you may have some problems that you try to suppress it, and this time you will have to face it. And of course, like sometimes it will be uncomfortable, but if you can reconcile with it, eventually it will be worth it, since you clear something up with yourself, which is good, because it is a part of self understanding. You want to grow as a person, and this is a way. That's why I kind of speak slowly, but maybe that is partially okay. I can say confidently that I can meditate for an hour and I will be fine. Because it might even help strengthen your attention span. Maybe you have that problems. Because nowadays, I have at least 90% to 95 like control over like my doom scrolling habit. Really, because I don't need to rely on it since I'm so busy. Maybe not really. I have so many things to do, to think, and it's just fine. When you always sought for the easiest path, like doom scrolling, gaming, or chatting with friends, I don't think it is good at all. You need to try to change it or punish yourself. I know that it's bad, but it might work for you. Says that maybe like, getting yourself some this kind of thing, but I want it to be um rubber. I don't know if it is like the right term, and then you just like punish yourself by doing this, or punishing yourself by reading a book at least 30 minutes every time when you catch yourself doom scrolling. Because in fact, by doing so, you improve yourself by proxy. Win-win. You want to scroll, then you have to read a book too, or working out. Just force yourself to do that and try to be serious about it. I tried so many times, but luckily this time it is different, since you learned from your past mistakes and failures. You understand what went wrong and just admit it, that, okay, I am just a human being. I am imperfect. I have flaws. I sometimes may be a hypocrite you know, and it is okay. So just admit it. Nobody will stab you when you admit that you were wrong with yourself, okay? It's completely okay. And I think it makes you more emotionally intelligent because you understand that fundamentally we all can be wrong. You, or like everybody wasn't born um omniscient, that you will never be wrong. You know what I'm saying? Because we need to learn. It can be from our experiences or learn from books, information, anything. It's okay to be wrong. Just admit it. It even makes you more mature since nobody wants to be wrong, right? They hate it because people, when you socially, when we admit that we are wrong, people will think that we are not credible, not trustworthy. That's why we are wrong. We're not that smart. And we don't want to be deemed as a low regard individual, thereby believing that ourselves always right. It's not a good or right mentality since it keeps you stagnant. You want to avoid that. If people around you they kind of pressure you to be that kind of person, I don't think it is a good environment for you to, just surround yourself by. Because people who actually care about you, they want to see you grow. Really, I have like friends, if, or like some people whom I care, when they're better at me at some things, I feel good for them. Really, genuinely. I might feel envious a little bit, but it doesn't take away my joy that I see them being good at it. I don't need to be good at everything, and it's completely fine. You know, Celebrating your loved ones' success is beautiful. It's part of being a decent human being. Wow, this one is kind of long. I love it though. It is like a podcast, living your life. I think this video must be put to an end because I think it is quite long, and just embrace the modern world, the insanity. It is crazy, right? With everything. But if you can't do anything with it, there's no reason for us to worry about it. Have you ever seen like um the structure of like, imagine if you have like a problem, right? And it comes down to two choices. Whether like it is either we can do something about it or we cannot do anything about it. For instance, if you choose that we can do something about it, then um should we choose to do something about it or not do about it? Because like it just, but at the end of the day it will come down to like the same thing. For instance, you choose to do something about it, I mean, then you just do it, you know and You don't know the result, whether it will work or not, but if you know that you can do something to release your stress or fix this problem, then do it. But if you know that you cannot do anything about it, for example, um, what would it be? Uh, you cannot do anything about it. Oh yeah, imagine. I have no idea, but there are some things that you cannot do something about it. Oh yeah. Oh, this one's bad. A really bad example. For instance, if your dog got hit by a car and it is dead now, like completely dead, okay? No breathing, no anything at all. And can you do anything to save its life? The answer is no. You can grieve, and that's all you can do, okay? You cannot trying to um revive it. Our world doesn't work that way, because if you cannot do anything about it, then the only workable solution would be grieving, and it's part of life. When the goodbye is sad, it means that you have good experiences or memories with that person or with it, just like that. And yeah, thanks a lot for watching until here. I extremely appreciate all of you guys, and I hope that you guys will like this kind of video, and I hope to see you in the next one. Peace.